Hello there everyone, I hope you're doing great. This is just a welcome video for COM229. I'm just going to take you through some of the basics in Brightspace for the class, talk a little bit about rubrics and assignments for the class, and also the resources that you'll be using. A lot of newer students especially have quite a few questions about using the class setup in Brightspace, so this is just kind of a starter place for them. If you don't feel like you need this, it's perfectly okay. This is an optional video. I'll also be producing a short video on the basics of Adobe Illustrator, which is the first of 3 different Adobe software that you'll be using this term, so please look for that as well. Alright, so those of you who are going to be following along, this is for COM229. Okay, it's Visual and Communication and Design. Okay, I'm teaching a couple different sections of this, and I've taught it several terms now, so you'll see a number of different classes that I have open to me. I'm just going to go ahead and click on one of them. They all look the same. Okay, you will see a few things on my screen that you will not have on your screen, only because as the instructor I have different things viewing. Okay, that includes some of the module announcements that you guys won't be able to see yet. But when you guys first go into the class, the first thing you really want to do is to look at announcements. Go ahead and look at the ones that are on the top here. If you haven't already read them and taken note of the things that are in those announcements, please make sure you do. You can also go back to older announcements by clicking View All Announcements. And all the announcements that are current for you will show up here. So you will recognize some of these earlier ones. You've already had these. Okay, but I put a lot of information in these announcements, so please make sure that you do read them every week and act on anything in there that you need to. I try to include all the basic information that you're going to need, some warnings about things that are going to mess you up if you don't take care of them, some helpful hints. This is about the AI files. Quite a few students have issues with opening those AI files, so I include instructions on that. Also pre-term, I sent you guys quite a bit of information, including the basic setup of the course, which is a little bit different than some courses. Information on plagiarizing, not usually a huge issue in this class, but occasionally it comes up. And also information on accessing the Who Knew It videos, which are the best way for you guys to start learning your Adobe software if you're not already familiar with that software. Alright, so there's a ton of information in these announcements. Please make sure that you read every one that I send to you, okay? If you ever have any questions, let me know. That's what I'm here for, okay? You can either email me or you can use the general question discussion forum, which I'll show you also. Alright, so once you've covered announcements for that day, then you're ready to go down to your learning modules. Okay, if you haven't already had a look at the syllabus, then you definitely want to start with the syllabus. Okay, you probably will not see these types of things, but go ahead and click on the syllabus. It's pretty basic. There's not tons of new information in here that you haven't already seen, but it does give you access to locate any textbooks that you may have, the software, so information about Adobe. There is required software for this course, and you must have it set up in the very first week of the course. If you do not have access to the software in the first week, please talk to your advisor about taking this course in another term. Okay, every single time I have a student wait to get that software, they do wind up failing the course because they just can't catch up in time. It's a very, very robust course, this one is. So please make sure that you have that software right away, or talk to your advisor about taking this course in another term. Alright, a little bit of information about what I'll be doing here, though more of that is in the announcements. This is an important section for you all, and this gives you basically what we're doing this term. Every undergraduate course has a total of 1,000 points, and your assignments are broken down to meet that 1,000 points. So this term you will have 6 different discussion forums. They are all required. You'll have 5 different activities required, 2 quizzes that are required. You'll have 1 final project, which is this project submission, and 3 milestones that lead into that project submission. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. But all your milestones, you can kind of think of those as rough drafts for going into the final project submission. Okay, so I won't give you early feedback on these, but I will grade them as quickly as I can and get those back to you so that you can apply any of that information to milestones and activities that are coming up the following week, and also to your final project submission. All right, this gives you the undergraduate grading system. It's the same in every undergraduate class. A little bit of a breakdown as to topics and assignments. Okay, it is your benefit to keep up in this course. Like I said, this is a very robust course. It can be a lot of fun to work with this software, but it's pretty intense. I am aware of that, and we're not looking for you all to become experts at this software, but we are looking for you all to put significant effort into learning it, to show just what you can do with the software after a few short weeks. You'll probably amaze yourself with how much you can do. You'll need to follow along with the tutorials and with the text instructions as well. But you'll amaze yourself with what you can do. Most students do quite well. It's just a lot to look at when you're first looking at the course and looking at the assignments and the software and stuff. I do understand that it can be pretty intimidating for a lot of students. So please carve out the time that you need every single week to get the assignments done on time. Do not fall behind in this course. It will really hurt you. Okay, it's a lot of stress when you fall behind in any course, but this one in particular is really tough. Okay, so do yourself a favor, carve out that time, and do not be late with your assignments. Okay, there is information in here about the attendance policy and about the late assignments policy. I am kind of a stickler for assignment due dates, mostly because if you guys don't learn that now when you're still in courses, when the time you get to a job, you will be expected to maintain your deadlines, and your employment could be at risk if you don't. So I want you all to really get used to maintaining your due dates and getting everything submitted on time while you're still a student. Okay, it will help you. There's a link to your handbook here, and there's information about ADA and 504 compliance. If you have any issues or if you have any questions, please contact me, or you can contact the Online Accessibility Center. They can also help you. There's information about copyright, withdraw, all the standard information that you guys have seen. Okay, so that's just the syllabus. Let's go back to start here. You can also go to table of contents. You can see almost the exact same things. A couple of the things I'm not going to go through in detail, but there is the essential questions here. So every course within the COM program or any program is associated with basic questions that are to be asked and answered, or the objectives that are to be completed for that course. And it has to do with what we found from industry experts and from other faculty, from people who are working in the field. They let us know as a program what are the basic skills that you all need to have when you come out of this program. So we wanted to make sure that every single one of those skills was really well covered within your courses. That's why there's such a specific order to the courses, and there's specific skills that you learn in each individual course. Okay, so they really are very important for you all. There's information here about Turnitin. Okay, we use Turnitin on all your text-based work, all your written work. I already sent an announcement pre-term about plagiarism. Plagiarism is something which I've seen done intentionally a few times, and I've seen done unintentionally quite a few times. Please be very careful that you follow the guidelines for citing your resources and using quote marks and all those types of things. I've seen far more students have an issue with unintentional plagiarism than with intentional plagiarism. But everything does get run through Turnitin. It is not worth your integrity and your status as a student to cheat on purpose, so please don't do it. Okay, again, if you need extra time, or if you have a question or something comes up, please let me know. Okay, I am human. I understand these things happen, but I can only work with you if you talk to me. Okay, if you don't talk to me, then I don't know what's going on. My only option at that point is to give you a 0. So please talk to me and talk to your advisor if things come up. Okay, do not resort to cheating to get through. It doesn't work for you. Okay, again, there's a couple different spaces or places where you can access the general question discussion forum. This is just one of them. Okay, if you have a question of a personal nature, by all means, please email me. But if it's a question about an assignment or access to a rubric or a file or something like that, feel free to post it in here. I generally answer everything within 24 hours, but another student may get to it within an hour, and they may be able to give you a quicker answer than I can. So please post them here if you think it's appropriate. All right, let's see. Next place I want to take you, you obviously won't have this one. I'm going to take you to assignments next. This is very, very important. Okay, every single assignment that you guys have this term will have an associated guidelines and rubric document. Okay, and every single one of these is critical to your success. Okay, your first week you will have an undergraduate discussion. This is the same rubric that's used for almost all the discussion forums, though there's a couple later in the term that are different. And then there's also milestone 1. Milestone 1, milestone 2, milestone 3 will all be the rough drafts of parts of the final project. The final project is down here. Okay, but let's go ahead and go have a look at milestone 1, guideline and rubric document. Okay, you guys are welcome to just open these. They're PDF files, or you can also download these, whichever one you prefer. Okay, so it says here you have one project and it has 3 milestones. Okay, this first milestone is due week 1. Okay, you guys will be given 3 different scenarios and you may pick any of these 3. There's an animal shelter, a heart health fun run for an insurance company, and there's the NICU for a regional hospital. Okay, you guys will be creating a logo for the organization. So it's a logo for All Paws Shelter, or a logo for APOX Insurance, or a logo for Arlington Regional Hospital. Later in the term, you will be creating campaign material or designs, which will have to do with a 30-day fundraising campaign for the shelter, for a fun run event for the insurance company, or for the NICU grand opening for the hospital. Okay, so your logos will be created for the organization, and your design material or your campaign material, those will all be created for the events, the campaign or the fundraising, the fun run, and the grand opening. Okay, so there's a big difference in how you're going to be approaching the logo versus everything else. All right. For milestone 1, you will not be doing the logo for milestone 1. I'm sorry if I probably didn't make that clear. But milestone 1, you won't be creating the logo. You'll be doing that in week 2 and 3. Okay, but for milestone 1, you will be identifying your audiences. You'll be identifying the project goals. You'll be assessing your message content and assessing your delivery method. Okay, you have been given some very basic information in each of these paragraphs. And you're going to pick one of these 3 organizations. From that information and from the readings in Module 1 and Module 2, but especially Module 1, you're going to be describing your target audience. Okay, you're going to use metrics. Okay, tell us who they are, where they're from, what types of people are they, what are their interests, what are their life goals, things like that. This is all information that you can glean from this description here and from the readings in Module 1. Okay, if you don't think you have enough information to answer any of these 4 questions, you need to go back through and do the readings. Okay, they're very important to you for this module. Okay, project goals. Okay, message content, delivery methods. Okay, so when you're thinking about message content, are there certain colors that will work well for this particular brand or this particular audience? Okay, are there ideas or concepts that you need to get through to the audience of this particular company? What kind of interests and lifestyle do the audience of this campaign, what is important to them? Are they family oriented? Are they older? Are they younger? What's their major interest here? Okay, so you're assessing your message content. It might be words that you want to use, feelings, concepts, colors. All these types of things can be under your message content. Under delivery method, this is when you're really going to have to look at your audience and decide what type of delivery methods are most effective for this audience. Okay, you guys all know that there are certain social media sites that are very popular amongst young people versus social media sites that are more popular amongst older people. Okay, how many younger audiences are going to be reading a newspaper? Probably not a lot. Okay, but retirees, that might be a big part of your audience for All Paws Shelter, might still be reading newspapers. Okay, flyers can be equally effective amongst a number of different age groups. Okay, so you need to think about your different delivery methods: flyers, TV ads, billboards, newspaper ads, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all these different delivery methods that are at your disposal. You're going to be doing 5 of these this term, okay, and you need to decide what types of delivery are most effective for your audience and for your client, for the message that your client wants to deliver. Okay. All of these will be a written document. You'll be submitting it as a Word document. Okay, make sure you use APA style. Make sure you cite your references. Use cited evidence to support your ideas. It's great if you say, okay, Florida is full of retired individuals. Okay, but tell us a little bit about those people and tell us why you think that. Where is your information coming from? You need to do some research online. Okay, this is not just personal opinion. This is factual information that you need to find and cite your sources for. Please make sure you use APA style. Okay, there is a word count here. I am not that strict on word counts. It's like impossible to fulfill this rubric with less than the words listed here. I mean, it's kind of impossible to fulfill it even with 250 words. So if you go over this word count, I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't want to see, a 40-page document, obviously. But you can fulfill these areas with more than 250 words fairly simply. Okay, so if you're going to have cited evidence, which I'm required to grade you on, and if you're going to fulfill each one of these criteria, then you're likely to go over that word count. Okay, so do be careful that you address each one of these. Okay, there is proficient, which is if you fulfill the basic requirements of that criteria, you'll be told what that is, and you will earn 85% of the points available for that. Okay, if you go above and beyond the basics, then you're going to fall into the exemplary category, and that's when you can get 100% of the points available for each category. Okay, and this is where if you get more insightful, if you give me additional information, if you dig deeper, you're going to do better. Okay, if you do the bare basics, then you're going to get about 85%. If you do less than bare basics, then that's when we start talking about you needing to expand your analysis and provide more evidence, more cited evidence in particular, and to go deeper in your thought process using terminology and concepts from the course materials, all that types of things. Okay, so that will all be falling under needs improvement, and then not evident is you just missed that basic criteria. Okay, so if you don't do that, you will just get 0 points for that area. All right, so again, make sure that you hit on each one of these rubric elements. Okay, I won't grade items ahead of time. I will only grade them starting on the Monday following that module. Okay, but I will try and grade as quickly as I can so I can get you that feedback. All right, because I know it's important to everybody. All right, one last thing. On this assignment and a couple times in this course, you're going to see links for Adobe Illustrator files or InDesign files or something. Okay, most of you, when you click on this, you will get a blank screen. Okay, occasionally you guys will actually get to see the image here. It will depend largely on the settings of your browser. SNHU does recommend using Chrome. I use Safari, and it usually works for me. But occasionally I do have to go use Chrome. I have not used other browsers with Brightspace, so I'm not sure how they would react. But if you're having trouble with a lot of material or a lot of access to links and things, I would recommend that you switch over to Chrome or perhaps Safari. Okay, but back to this. So if you click on this and it's a blank file, don't worry about it. It really isn't. What you will have to do, however, is download it, and you're going to have to make an adjustment. Okay. For me, I'm on a Mac. I download by using my control key. You may also use a right click. Okay, so I'm just going to download the linked file. Okay, and it will download to my download folder. Now, if I just go to my download folder and I try to open this up, it's going to give me this warning. Okay, my system is set up so that it will add a PS or a PostScript extension to the file each time I upload a file. Okay, I'm not going to be able to see it the way I need to. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to go over to My Finder, just a list of my files, and I'm going to go find the file that I downloaded. Okay, and it's this one right here. You'll see that it's an AI file, which is Adobe Illustrator, but it also has a PostScript extension on it. Okay, I'm going to go in, I'm just going to relabel this file, and I'm going to take off the PostScript extension. And it's going to ask me if I really want to do that. I do. Use AI. Now I can just open this up in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, and this is just it's a starting place for any of the 3 organizations that you will be working with. This A is a starting place for All Paws Shelter or APOX Insurance or Arlington Regional Hospital. Okay, you do not have to use anything about this if you do not care to. It is only a starting point if you want to use it. Okay, completely optional, but it's there if you want it. Okay, I'm not going to save that. All right, let's continue on here. Let's go back to course menu and let's go to learning modules. Okay, we've already seen all the assignments. So like I said, you need to examine these every single time you start an assignment. This is your first thing that you do, is pull this up, have a look at it, and see what it says that you need to do. I will often have examples for you all to look at. So you may check to see if the example that I have included in the announcement is helpful to you. I don't have examples for everything, but I do have quite a few. So you'll see those. I may also give you templates. I definitely will give you a template for the final project because there's so many elements to this. It's really easy to miss things. Please use the template that I provide. I will give it to you probably 4 or 5 times through the term. Please make sure you use that template. Okay, but if you ever have a question, let me know. Okay. All right, I'm going to move into module 1. You will not see this. Okay, you will see module 1 introduction. It's just a short little writing. Please make sure you read everything that you're provided with, okay? Read all this, make the notes that you need to make. Okay, you'll also have resources. Your resources are not optional in this course. These resources are critical to your success. Okay, first you have the book. Okay, we did provide the book to you all this term. Okay, we know that you have to buy the software, and that can be an economic hardship for many people. So we made sure that we included the textbook for you. So you'll see each individual chapter that you need to read. You'll also see a number of different articles. These are required reading. They are not optional. These are the readings that will help you answer the questions on those milestones. Okay, and then under here you will also see additional optional. They are labeled optional, but I would say that these are basically the difference between getting a BC in the course or getting an AB in the course. So please read these, take your notes, and take from it as much as you can. Okay, there's a lot of information in here that can help you with the milestones and help you make good decisions about your client. Something you do want to keep in mind is that the project that you will finish for this course is something that you can put into a career portfolio. So you really want to concentrate on making this project that you do for the course as professional as you possibly can. That's why you want to make sure that you use spell check and grammar check. You definitely want cited evidence. You want to use that APA format, and you want to be very thorough. You want to use the concepts and the terminology of this course. It's very, very important to you all. Okay, visual communication is not, a side part of communications anymore. It is a very, very significant part of any campaign these days. We don't see text-only campaigns hardly ever. So visual communication is critical to your success as a communications professional. So please treat this project as a career portfolio piece so that you do the best job that you possibly can on it. All right. Go back. Okay, starting in module 2, I'm also going to show you something here under resources. You will also have a link to the Who Knew It videos. Okay, these Who Knew It videos are the best way for you all to learn the Adobe software. You will be learning the basics of Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, and Adobe InDesign this term. That is a lot, and I know it is a lot, and I know it can be overwhelming. Okay, I will not be grading you on how much you are successful at. I will be grading you on how much you make an effort at. There's a big difference there. If you only go into Adobe Illustrator and you use one tool, such as the freehand drawing tool, and you try to do everything that way, it will not look good. I know it's the easiest way to do it. I understand that, but it will not look good. You cannot hand in something that looks like a little kid scribbled it out. Okay, I understand it's really hard to use the other tools, but you've got to master at least the basics. Okay, it is to your benefit to get in there early and to train as well as you possibly can. All right, I will be as helpful as I possibly can for you all, but I do need you guys to put the time and the effort into it as well. Okay, please use these Who Knew It resources. Adobe also has a YouTube channel that has some amazing videos on it, so I recommend you have a look at those as well. And I'll include those links in the announcements as well. All right, other resources. Now, this is more of your textbook. You got 3 chapters in this second one. There's some other resources as well, such as the visual design guide. I mentioned that in one of the announcements before the class started. I also gave you a link to it, so it's all there. All right. There's an amazing amount of information in this class. I was really impressed with it when I saw it. I don't write the class myself. You guys probably already know this. We put our input into the class and the assignments and such like that, but they're all written by course designers now. So these are people that specialize in adult education. Okay, we provide the content, they organize it and kind of structure it the way it's appropriate. All right, just a couple more things here, and then I'm going to let you guys go and get to work. Let's go look really quickly at discussions. There's a couple spots that you can access discussions. But basically, there's a getting started. This one is optional. It's just an introduction thing. If you guys want to skip this one and do your introduction with your Module 1 discussion, that's perfectly fine with me. I think that's what most people are already doing. You just want to make sure that you also answer the questions that are here. This is a general question discussion forum. Okay, so if you have a question, post it. I'll answer it as soon as I can. If you see a question here and you know the answer, by all means, have at it. No problem. Okay, these are your major discussion forums. I do not believe you guys will be able to see all these until they open up. Okay, I can see them because I have the dates available, but you will not see these until they're open. Okay, they do usually open on the Saturday before the module starts. And I generally will do the first announcement for each module on the Sunday before it starts. All of your assignments are due on either the Thursday or the Sunday of that module. Your first discussion posts are always due on the Thursday, always. Okay, so make sure you get in there at least on Thursdays and Sundays to submit work. And with this class, I got to be honest with you, this class is going to require more than just a 2-day-a-week login. If you're not familiar with Adobe software already, please make sure that you carve out the time for that software. It's tough. There is a definite learning curve to that software. All right. Do be aware that you don't have a discussion every week. Is it week 3? Yeah, week 3 you do not have one. And for week 6, you actually have 2. The regular discussion on layout tools, but then you have a second discussion which will be listed in your assignments as 6.3, but it links to the 7.1 discussion. I'm not super fond of this setup either, but this is what it is. You'll see it open. It is noted. I put it in my announcements. There's lots of opportunities for you all to see that you need to get in here. So just please be aware that Mod 6, you will have 2 discussions to look at. The standard one and the one that is labeled 7.1. Okay? Again, if you have questions, please let me know. Okay? I'm a tough instructor, but I'm also a pretty nice one, I like to think anyway. What I've been told quite often, so hopefully that you'll find that as well. Alrighty. I think that's about all. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Alright? I will give you the best luck that you, or suggest the best luck to you all for the term. And again, if you have questions, please let me know. All right, take great care. I'll talk to you soon.